The Legacy Sports Network presents Greater Houston Area High School Baseball. Today's game is brought to you by Texan Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram GMC Buick. We hear you. Also brought to you by Brant and Jen Stogner, attorney-at-law. Top Dog Fireworks. Say it with a boom. Hotze Health and Wellness Center. Transforming lives naturally. DeRoche Partners. We create partnerships of trust from which everyone prospers. Challenge Office Products, answering your call for dependable service since 1988. And by Mr. Electric, we've got the power to make things better. Now it's time to go to the ballpark.
Welcome in here to the pit. Ballpark of the St. Pius X Panthers, who will be playing host to the St. Thomas Eagles here today on a Friday. We're listening live on the Legacy Sports Network. I am Andrew Carter. Glad you can be here with us. I know there's a lot of good sporting events on today, but glad you're hanging in here with me for what's sure to be a fantastic game after the last game ended up in a walk-off in favor of the Tigers. Take a quick break. When we come back here, we'll have an interview here with Coach Mazziotti here on the Legacy Sports Network on the other side of the break.
Legacy Sports Network, now celebrating 7.
We've got the power to make things right. Mr. Electric, show you the light.
Looking for electrical help you can count on? Switch to Mr. Electric. We have some of the best trained electricians in the business, and they're ready to help you with any project, big or small. Best of all, with Mr. Electric, our work is 100% guaranteed. That's why so many people trust Mr. Electric.
We've got the power to make things better. Mr. Electric.
Legacy Sports Network, now celebrating 17 years of broadcasting excellence. We are your home for local high school sports coverage. Expect excellent audio and video production. Whether you're listening at home or at the game, find us at lsnsports.com. Legacy Sports Network, building a legacy one game at a time.
We are the NFHS. That stands for the National Federation of State High School Associations. But really, what we stand for, together with the UIL, are the 825,000 high school sports and performing arts students in Texas. And so we stand. We stand for the runners, debate team members, and basketball players. We stand for their coaches, officials, and adjudicators. We stand for the drummers, football players, and actors. We stand for the golfers, singers, and swimmers. We stand as the national leader and advocate for these essential activities and all who participate in them and make them possible, because it is our purpose to ensure that high school students get to play, perform, and compete together. To learn more about who we are and what we stand for, visit nfhs.org.
And welcome back to the Legacy Sports Network. Andrew Carter here with St. Thomas head coach Adam Mazziotti. Coach Mazziotti, very thrilling, very encouraging win on Tuesday against St. Pius. How do you keep the momentum going against them here today?
Really, we just got to do the little things right. Win each pitch, win each at bat, and kind of win each inning is going to be kind of our motto. Just really take that win from the other night and just kind of really just not focus on what the ending might be like today, but just really how we're going to start the game and play pitch by pitch.
Gotcha. Evan Wisnowski's been on a really great tear recently. He's hitting 5 for 10 in his last 3 games. Is there anything different he's been doing, or is this just kind of who he's been all year?
It's really who he's kind of been all year, a quality hitter for us, putting some good at-bats together, getting some big hits for us late in games and helping us out. So I think his confidence is in a good place, and really just a veteran senior that's really doing his thing.
Base running a pretty big factor in that win on Tuesday. How much goes into coaching the guys on the base paths?
We do focus a lot on base running. It's a detail that we try to pride ourselves on. The team's very athletic, so we have a lot of guys that can run some quality bases and give us a bunch of different looks offensively. So we do spend time on it.
Do you plan on winning this one normally, or do you want to do another walk-off steal of home today?
No, we hope to play just good old-fashioned clean baseball, get the big inning where we score 3 or more in an inning, and try to have some 2-out RBIs that might break opponents' backs and show that we can kind of take control of the game. So good old-fashioned baseball, timely hitting, and taking care of the ball is what we hope to do today.
Coach Mazziotti, thank you so much. Best of luck today.
Thank you.
That was Coach Mazziotti. We'll take a quick break. On the other side, we'll be back here for Keys to the Game here on the Legacy Sports Network.
We've got the power to make things right. Mr. Electric will show you the light.
Looking for electrical help you can count on? Switch to Mr. Electric. We have some of the best trained electricians in the business, and they're ready to help you with any project, big or small. Best of all, with Mr. Electric, our work is 100% guaranteed. That's why so many people trust Mr. Electric.
We've got the power to make things better. Mr. Electric.
DeRoche Partners, LLP, located in Houston and Dallas, offers a complete range of tax assurance and consulting services to a diverse portfolio of clients. Their team is dedicated to the highest ethics of our profession with a commitment to excellence. This is accomplished by putting an emphasis on providing superior professional services specifically tailored to meet the needs of our clients. DeRoche Partners aim to provide valuable insight, effective solutions, and maintain long-lasting business relationships. Their high recruiting standards and culture of excellence is uncommon and unrivaled. They want to wish all the student athletes good luck. Visit DeRoche Partners on the web at dpllp.cpa.
Timeout.
All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Welcome back here on the Legacy Sports Network. About 8 or so minutes until first pitch. And Andrew Carter here for you on tap here for this game between St. Thomas Eagles and the St. Pius X Panthers. Second game these two teams have played against each other. They played a game earlier on Tuesday. St. Thomas would walk that game off in a wild sequence, caught stealing, rather a rundown from first to second with Caleb Kimball. Tyler Veillon would end up stealing home to walk that one off here. Heard Coach Mazziotti wants to win one more traditionally here today. He seems very encouraged by his team and wants to see them do well here today. Let's talk about our keys to victory here for both sides. Starting with St. Thomas, they're going to want to get on for Wisnowski. You heard me talk about it during the interview. He's 5 for 10 in his last 3 games. He is really swinging a hot stick. Going to want to get him some ducks on the pond so that he can drive them home. And I also want to have to improve their discipline at the plate. Struck out 8 batters in that, or they were struck out 8 times at the plate in that win. So despite the good hitting from some of their stars, they really did struggle in some certain spots with the swing and miss. And finally, they want to control the base running. A lot of stolen bases for the St. Pius X Panthers, who are kind of running all over Jackson Ambrose and the rest of the team. So you can attribute some of that certainly toward the speed on the St. Pius team, but you know, Ambrose wants to do a lot better here today. On the other side for the Panthers, playing at home today, they want to improve with runners on, 9 left on base, 2 for 11 with runners in scoring position in that loss on Tuesday. Going to definitely want to improve that. They also want to stabilize their pitching. 4 pitchers used in the loss against St. Thomas on Tuesday. Starter went really well, but the bullpen ended up giving up 3 runs in that loss. Finally, they're going to want to get to Caleb Kimball early, who is your starter here for St. Thomas here tonight. St. Thomas has been kind of susceptible whenever their starting pitcher does get knocked around a little bit, so we'll see what happens when we start the game here and how he figures to go into this game. Starting pitching outside of Braden Comstock and Hayden Murphy has been a little shaky. Still kind of looking for that back of the line starter. See what they end up doing throughout the rest of the season. We've seen some encouraging starts from guys like Patrick Daly. Now Kimball on the bump here, so we'll see if it's kind of like an audition here at the back of this rotation. Looking for guys that can take in deep into a 3-game series potentially and deep into the playoffs in TAPS, which is uber competitive this year as it normally always is. Gonna take one more break here, and then when we come back, we'll be just about ready for first pitch here on the Legacy Sports Network.
We've got the power to make things right. Mr. Electric, show you the light.
Looking for electrical help you can count on? Switch to Mr. Electric. We have some of the best trained electricians in the business, and they're ready to help you with any project, big or small. Best of all, with Mr. Electric, our work is 100% guaranteed. That's why so many people trust Mr. Electric.
We've got the power to make things better. Mr. Electric.
All right, folks, let's get started. Parents, thanks for coming. As many of you know, I'm Coach Mather. Tonight I want to talk about the season, of which I only have one expectation, that everybody gets stronger. When I say get stronger, I'm not referring solely to physical strength. Sure, we'll be in the weight room, we'll be running stairs, but we're also going to focus on developing mental toughness and grit, because those are the characteristics that allow us to achieve greatness both on and off the court. So, how do we develop those things? By getting comfortable with a challenge, by cultivating the confidence necessary to overcome adversity in all forms. That's why I coach. That's my purpose. Every member of this team can lean on me, and I'll teach them how they can lean on themselves and each other.
This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Hello, I'm Dr. Steve Hotze. Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Are you fed up with your doctor giving you drugs simply to mask your symptoms rather than treating the cause? As you age, I believe you should be brimming with energy, vitality, and enthusiasm for life. The Hotze Health and Wellness Center treats individuals from all over the country and world in an environment of extraordinary hospitality. We specialize in the treatment of allergies, yeast, replenishing natural hormones, vitamin and mineral supplementation, and a healthy eating lifestyle, all of which boost your immune system, increase your energy level, and your health span. If you'd like to obtain and maintain health and wellness naturally without pharmaceutical drugs, then contact one of our wellness consultants today at 281-698-8698 or visit HotzeHWC.com and request a free copy of my best-selling book, Hormones, Health, and Happiness.
Welcome back to the pit here. Andrew Carter here with you on tap. This game just about ready to get set. Starting lineups have been introduced for the St. Thomas Eagles. Players lining up on the foul line.
Surprise guest tonight, escorting your Panthers out on the field, the Timber Grove Thunder.
The surprise guest here, the St. Pius X Panthers, who are coming off that loss. In case you missed it on Tuesday, St. Thomas won that game 5-4 in walk-off fashion in the 7th.
And now the starting lineup for your St. Pius X Panthers. Leading off, number 22, in center field, Jackson Cotton.
Starters coming out now.
At second base, number 2, Sean
St. Pius X Panthers. Leading off will be Jackson
At
Cotton.
shortstop, number 1,
After him will be Sean
Michael
Marquez,
Peavy.
then followed by Michael Peavy.
Behind the dish tonight, numero 11, Jorge Arcia.
Jorge Arcia, the catcher, will be
At the hot
tasked
corner,
with the
third
duties
base,
behind the
number
plate.
21, Adrian Magallanes.
Adrian Magallanes, third baseman, hitting 5th.
In left field, number 19, Drake Sturm.
Drake Sturm, the left fielder, hitting after
Your
Magallanes.
designated hitter tonight, number 9, Devin Mayahi.
Devin Mayahi was the starter in
Devin
that
is
last
batting
game, now
for the right fielder,
DHing.
number 4, Johnny Broussard.
Johnny Broussard hitting.
At first base
Fielding
tonight,
right.
number 10, Carson Evans.
Carson Evans hitting
And
8th.
on the mound for your Panthers tonight, number 1, number 8, Jaden Lee.
Jaden Lee, the pitcher, will be on tap here today for the St. Pius X Panthers. more break for the national anthem. When we come back, we'll be just about ready for first pitch here on the Legacy Sports Network.
Please rise.
Hello, I'm Dr. Steve Hotze. Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Are you fed up with your doctor giving you drugs simply to mask your symptoms rather than treating the cause? As you age, I believe you should be brimming with energy, vitality, and enthusiasm for life. The Hotze Health and Wellness Center treats individuals from all over the country and world in an environment of extraordinary hospitality. We specialize in the treatment of allergies, yeast, replenishing natural hormones, vitamin and mineral supplementation, and a healthy eating lifestyle, all of which boost your immune system, increase your energy level, and your health span. If you'd like to obtain and maintain health and wellness naturally without pharmaceutical drugs, then contact one of our wellness consultants today at 281-698-8698 or visit HotzeHWC.com and request a free copy of my best-selling book, Hormones, Health, and Happiness.
We've got the power to make things right. Mr. Electric, show you the light.
Looking for electrical help you can count on? Switch to Mr. Electric. We have some of the best trained electricians in the business, and they're ready to help you with any project, big or small. Best of all, with Mr. Electric, our work is 100% guaranteed. That's why so many people trust Mr. Electric.
We've got the power to make things better. Mr. Electric.
And welcome back. Timer says 7:02 here, so we're just about ready for first pitch here at the pit at St. Pius X High School. Excited to have you here with us for what figures to be a fantastic game here on tap for you today. On the bump today for your St. Thomas Eagles will be Caleb Kimball, and on the other side will be Jaden Lee, who played third base in that game on Tuesday. Thank you for watching the Mr. Electric pregame show. Now for your Texan GMC Buick lineup for your St. Thomas Eagles. Hitting leadoff will be the left fielder Garen Houston, taking the place normally of J. Marcantel, who is currently on the bench. Behind him will be the usual second hitter, Evan Wisnowski, the third baseman. Hitting third will be Jackson Ambrose, the catcher. And hitting cleanup will be the pitcher, Caleb Kimball. Hitting fifth, the DH, Jackson Riles. Hitting sixth, number 16, Jackson Landclose, the shortstop. And the final third will be Henry Beck, the first baseman, Jake Baskin, the right fielder, and Anthony Borja, the second baseman. Warming up here, Jaden Lee. Was kind of a pitching by committee in that last game against St. Thomas for St. Pius. In that game, the Panthers started with Devin Mayahi, who was the DH for today's game, followed by Carson Smith, Drew Davis, and then finishing off with Michael Peavy, who took the loss in the 7th inning.
And now we're pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
Those are our Texan GMC Buick lineup for our St. Thomas Eagles. Now just about set to get off here. Thank you for being here with us. Glad you could be here with us. These district games always important when it comes to the end of the season. Figures to be doubly so here today. Garen Houston will be starting us off here against Jaden Lee. First pitch, just a bit inside, but called a strike. Strike one. Garen Houston, a very popular pinch hitting option for Coach Mazziotti and this team, getting the start here in left field. Second pitch in there for a strike. 0-2 the count, top of the first. Just haven't gotten started here. 0-2 count here to Garen Houston. And that one's a little low. 1-2 the count now. Houston didn't start in that game on Tuesday. Now leading off here for the visiting Eagles. 1-2 from Lee. That one's in there for a strike. So 4 pitches is all it takes for the first strikeout of the day for Jaden Lee. Now Evan Wisnowski up again, 5 for 10 in his last 3 games. He has been a hitting machine.
Now batting, number 22.
Tough to get one by him. One out here at the top of the first inning. First pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. For the first 5 pitches here from Lee have been for strikes, so he's dialed in early. Fouled back 0-2. Second batter that Lee has been ahead of in a row. Lee plays a good third base, as we saw on Tuesday. Haven't seen him as a pitcher yet, but he is looking spry to start. That one's outside, 1-2. One out here, top of the first, 0-0 score. Again, Wisnowski been on a 5 for 10 tear in the last 3 games. Time called at the plate by Wisnowski. Went 1 for 3 with a walk, a strikeout, and a run accounted for in that win on Tuesday. Wisnowski settling back into the box. Pretty good turnout here on a Friday night, all things considered. I know we have March Madness going, but still plenty of folks sticking it out here for Texas high school baseball. That pitch low, count goes even, 2-2. Trying to get his second strikeout, the 2-2. That one's low again, so Wisnowski has worked this one full. 3-2 with one out here, top of the first. Need strikeouts in that win, so they are susceptible to some swing and miss. Wisnowski not typically a part of that, but he has showcased some good stuff, moving all over the zone. That one popped high into the air. Not to where that one is. Watch out. Ball drops harmlessly. 3-2 still. We are behind home plate here today, so we are susceptible to a few foul balls if they hang up high enough. 3-2 here, one out to Evan Wisnowski. Lee's pitch is low, that's a ball. Wisnowski's the first base runner of the day here for the Eagles. Wisnowski can certainly steal a base, so be on the lookout for that.
Jackson Ambrose.
Catcher Jackson Ambrose up now. Runner on first, one out here, top of the first. Jaden Lee struck out Garen Houston to start the game, then walked Evan Wisnowski. Now up against Jackson Ambrose. First pitch for a strike. Jaden Lee hasn't been missing much here to start this game. Looking really sharp to start. 0-1 here to Ambrose. The pitch. That one's low, 1-1. Have to snap back. He might be out, and he's safe. Wisnowski slipped trying to get back to first. Would have had a close play there regardless, but that didn't help matters. Did get back safely, so he's still on first. 1-1 the count. Jaden Lee here against Jackson Ambrose. That one outside, good pick, and they have him hung up now at first. Wisnowski throw down to second, and he's out. Wisnowski caught trying to take second, and it was a strong throw by Arcia to get him. 2 outs here with Jackson Ambrose still at the plate. Might have been a little too overzealous there, trying to steal second. Kind of in no man's land. A strong throw by Jorge Arcia gets him out for the second out of the inning. So 2-1 the count here to Ambrose with nobody on. That ball high, 3-1 now. Ambrose had a pretty good game himself on Tuesday. Went 1 for 2 with 2 walks, a run, and an RBI. Hits that one foul over to the opposite side near the parking lot. Sun is beginning to set here. Really temperate here so far to start. Sub 70, it feels like, officially listed at 70 degrees. Not very cloudy, if at all. Still a little windy as it has been all week here in Houston. That ball was hit the other way, lofted up, settling underneath it. And that one falls. Broussard had tried to get under it, but it fell. It's going to be a bit of luck there that time for Ambrose, who gets himself to first base. Still 2 outs here, top of the first, 0-0 our score. Interested to see how they score that one. I'd imagine an error, but
Courtesy runner number 13, Henry Farr.
Henry Farr,
Now
courtesy
batting number
running in
21,
now for
Caleb
Ambrose.
Kimball.
Caleb Kimball, the pitcher, batting cleanup here today. Kimball's first pitch is outside, 1-0. Tyler Vayan, normally the pinch runner, but he's playing out in center field today, so Henry Farr will get a crack at it at first. Pretty good lead over there. Evans keeping a close eye on him at first, fouled back, 1-1. Two outs here, top of the first. Karen Houston struck out swinging. Evan Wisnowski walked, but then was caught stealing second, too far off of first. Jackson Ambrose lopped the one in the right field that dropped. Currently on first, being ran for by Henry Farr.
Fire awarded, number 9, Brandon.
1-1 here to Kimball. That one's outside. We've seen some very good plays on the backstop by Jorge Arcia. Had to range over for a few, had to get that one, and was able to keep it in front of him to make sure Farr didn't take off for second. And pretty good St. Thomas contingent here today. The two schools not very far from each other. Check over on first, Farr back safely. 2-1 the count. Kimball digging into the right-handed hitter's box. Big power guy. Does strike out a bit, but is known to get a hold of some, and he can drive some if he gets the chance. That one hit high, drifting foul, and it looks like it'll retreat into the dugout. Kimball stays alive. Count goes even, 2-2.
You ready, Caleb?
We've got a rugby game going on the next field over, so we kind of have conflicting PA announcers here. Was a little funny. They're starting at around the same time, so we've had like back-to-back national anthems. A lot of standing here for the crowd here. 2-2, 2 outs, runner on first. Caleb Kimball up to bat now in a 0-0 game. Kimball calls for time. Lee will reset on the mound as well. Farr will retreat back to first.
You got this, Caleb.
For as windy as it has been, flag not really moving out there in the outfield, so we'll imagine it'll have much of an effect on balls hit into play, although we've seen crazier things here in St. Thomas baseball. Swing and a miss. That'll retire the side. Second strikeout for Jaden Lee. Nobody scores here for St. Thomas. St. Pius Panthers will come up to bat when we come back on the Legacy Sports Network.
Have you noticed bad behavior has become normalized at interscholastic athletic events? Some fans seem angry. They lack civility toward one another. Some even get aggressive and unruly. Time out! What is going on? This has to stop. Let's not forget, school sports aren't just about winning. And they're definitely not an excuse to take your frustrations out on the official or the opponent. They're about teaching lessons like perseverance, respect, and empathy, so students can learn and grow as people, not just as players. We all have a role to play in setting a good example for our students and teaching them these important values. So fans, it's time to step up your game and behave positively at interscholastic athletic events in Texas.
This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Welcome back here. It'll be the Panthers' turn to bat. First third coming up. Jackson Cotton, Sean Marquez, and Michael Peavy coming up to bat for St. Pius X against Caleb Kimball. On the bump here today for the St. Thomas Eagles. The starting lineup for the Panthers will be Cotton, Marquez, and Peavy. Hitting cleanup will be Jorge Arcia, the catcher. Hitting fifth, Adrian Magallanes. Sixth, Drake Sturm. Hitting seventh, DH Devin Mayahi. Carson Evans hitting 8. Hitting 9, the pitcher, Jaden Lee. Defense behind Kimball lines up like this. Ambrose behind the plate. Wisnowski at third. Landclose at shortstop. Anthony Borja at second. Henry Beck at first. And left to right in the outfield, Garen Houston, Tyler Vayon, and Jake Baskin. Demanding the grass out there. A time like this where I miss my good buddy, my partner, Paul Daly. He normally knows these songs off the top of off his head. I'm normally the one having to explain Travis Scott to him, so it's always a good bit of back and forth.
All right, Panther fans, leading off the first, number 22, Jackson Cotton.
Jackson Cotton up to bat, playing some Fetty Wap. That one I'm more familiar with. Bottom of the first, score 0-0. Jackson Cotton up here against Caleb Kimball, the pitcher for St. Thomas. Cotton, a lefty, against Kimball, a righty. First pitch. Hit hard, back up the middle, and that's a base hit on the first pitch that Cotton sees. He's on here for the Panthers. Did the same thing in that game on Tuesday. Saw the first pitch he saw, brought it back up the middle, would end up coming around
number
to
2, Sean Marquez.
Marquez now up to bat, the second baseman. Kimball can throw it pretty hard. He typically plays outfield. He definitely has a strong arm on him on the mound. His first pitch, 0-0, a ball, 1-0. Cotton on first. Nobody out here, bottom of the first. Kimball's definitely got a lot of zip in his delivery. Pitching out of the stretch here with Cotton on first. Decent lead over there at first. Henry Beck keeping a close eye on him there. Bunt attempted, missed. And it will go outside, 2-0 now. The count here against Sean Marquez. Check on over at Cotton at first. He's back safely. St. Thomas went 0-3 against St. Pius, the 10th last year. Lost all 3 games in a span of 2 days. That ball hit hard over the head of Wisnowski. Cotton will advance to second. Another base hit here, this time from Sean Marquez. Back-to-back singles here up at first and second with nobody out here for the Panthers.
Now batting, number 1, Michael Peavy.
Michael Peavy, the shortstop, hitting now. Some early trouble here. Nobody out here. Runners at first and second.
Go, Caleb.
Decent leads at first and second for Cotton and Marquez. They won't go. First pitch in there for a strike. Good breaking ball on the inside part of the plate. 0-1 the count here. Still 0-0 bottom of the first, although St. Pius the 10th is threatening here. Normally I rely on a lot of strikeouts from this Eagles pitching staff, especially from guys like Hayden Murphy. Kimball's certainly capable of that as well. Bunt laid down, it's put down. In play, Kimball has some trouble with it, throws it over to first, and that's out of the reach of Beck. And now the runner's advancing, and they will score. Jackson Cotton comes around from second to score on the missed pick by Henry Beck. It's 1-0 Panthers. Would have been a close play regardless, so we'll see what they score that as, but Henry Beck could not get a handle on that catch, and St. Pius X draws first blood here.
Ahora, bateando número 11, Jorge Arcia.
Jorge Arcia clean up hitting now. Officially calling that a single, and then an E3 on the catch. Runners at second and third, one up, St. Pius. Still nobody out here for the cleanup catcher, Jorge Arcia. Danger zone early for Kimball. First pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. 3 consecutive hits to start the game for the Panthers. Again, a lot of speed for this team as well. Cotton, Marquez, and Peavy are all very speedy. Jorge Arcia, not as much so, but he can definitely put the bat on the ball. Half-hearted swing there outside, count 1-1. The question for the Eagles all year has been finding guys outside of Murphy and Comstock to pitch in the back half of this rotation. They've gotten some quality performances from a few guys here and there, but nothing consistently. Trying to see if Kimball can be that guy. Ball grounded over to Wisnowski. He'll make the play at first. Runners won't advance, so that's a good out and good result there for Kimball. One away here, first out of the game. Runners still on second and third. Adrian Magallanes, the third baseman, coming up to bat now.
Number 21, Adrian Magallanes.
A very long and laborious bottom of the first here for Caleb Kimball. Good play over there by Wisnowski, very short-handed at third. Marquez at third, Peavy at second. Bunt attempted, runners, infielders crashed, but the ball doesn't go anywhere. He whiffed on it. 1-0 the count, it was actually outside.
Go, Caleb!
Caleb Kimball fighting in this inning. 3 straight hits before that 6-3 to Arcia. 1-0 here, Panthers already looking to put up a crooked number in the bottom of the first. 1-0 from Kimball. That one's down low, 2-0 to Magallanes. And that top third for the Panthers has been really good in that last game. They were a combined 4 for 9. 2 walks, an RBI, and a stolen base. They really know how to make it happen. Their speed really affects ball games, and you saw it here in the first inning. 2-0 from Kimball to Magallanes, down low, 3-0 now. Drake Sturm, the left fielder, would hit next.
Go, Caleb! No strikes now. Work on the batter.
3-0 count here to Adrian Magallanes. That one in there for a strike. Magallanes taking all the way. 3-1, 1 out. St. Pius X struck first in that last game as well. Kimball wants to go through the signs again. They'll call for time on the plate, or at the mound rather, excuse me. 3-1 here, 1 out. Runners on second and third. Marquez and Peavy respectively. And now a meeting on the mound here. Ambrose coming out here to talk with his man Kimball, who has given up 3 straight hits to start this game before getting a ground out to the third baseman, Wisnowski. Was able to get the first out, but other than that, it's been a bit of a struggle here to start. Kimball definitely has a live arm, but so far, St. Pius is seeing him well to start. And this game today is brought to you by Texan Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, GMC, Buick. We hear you. Getting back into the box is Magallanes, up 3-1 in the count. See what Kimball goes with here. The 3-1 breaker just a bit inside. So the bases will be loaded here for Drake Sturm.
Now batting number 19, Drake Sturm.
Some more Fetty Wap here. Apparently a very popular artist with the Panthers.
1738.
One out here. Runners on second and third. Caleb Kimball against Drake Sturm, who swings through the first one, 0-1. Can reach the low 90s with that fastball, can Kimball. Is 0-1. That one's low, 1-1. We've seen a lot of patience so far from these Panthers. Struggled with runners in scoring position in that last game. Only went 2 for 11, left 9 on base looking to improve that mark here, and they already have. Having driven in 1 run. Another swing and a miss. 1 and 2. Now gets away from Ambrose. Play at the plate. Won't be made. Runner is safe from third, Marquez. And it's 2-0 now, Panthers. The ball that got away from Jackson Ambrose.
Got dirt in my eye.
And with the speed paying off there from Sean Marquez.
Go, Greg.
That one a passed ball. So the runners advance from second and third, first and second as well. So runners on second and third, 1 out.
Conversion is good.
Craig Sturm now with the base open here, and the count 1 and 1. 1 and 2 rather, excuse me. 1-2 from Kimball, looking to get a second out of the inning here. Pitches in, outside. 2-2. Sixth batter of the inning here for Kimball, who has really had to struggle in this inning. Giving up 3 singles, a walk. Only has 1 out here to start. Ball hit on the infield. That one's to the shortstop lane close, who ranges over to first. And that one gets away from Beck as well. And another run's gonna come home. We've seen some rough defense here to start this game, and now it's 4-0 Panthers.
Now batting, number 9, Devin Mayahi.
Devin Mayahi coming up to bat now. Second error on Henry Beck over at first. Now, nope, runner only at first. 2 runs came across the score on that error. It's now 4-0 Panthers. First pitch in their first strike against Devin Mayahi, the DH.
Dad, where's the car?
Kimball looking to maybe get a double play here to get out of this inning. Ball outside. 1-1.
Ends in the run. Penalty.
Decent lead over at first for Sturm. Beck trying to keep him close. That ball hit on the infield. Go to second for 1, over to first to Beck, who is able to pick that one. So the double play eventually turned, but not before 4 runners plated by the Panthers. Up big here to start.
That
We'll
ends
be right
the
back.
first, Panther fans.
Second
The
inning here
team
on the
up, the good
Legacy
guys,
Sports
4-0
Network.
over the Eagles.
Alvin and the Chipmunks want to remind you to keep bacteria in food from making you ill with 4 simple steps.
This will be a walk in the park.
Clean, wash hands and surfaces often.
I'm waiting for the rinse cycle.
Separate, keep raw meats away from ready-to-eat foods.
Yep.
Cook, make sure meat, poultry, and seafood is cooked to the right temperature.
Fire in the hole!
And chill, refrigerate food promptly.
Bingo!
Check your steps at foodsafety.gov. Brought to you by the USDA, HHS, and the Ad Council. The road trip to food safety starts at foodsafety.gov.
Welcome back here. 4-0 our score here as the St. Pius X Panthers jump out to a big lead, courtesy of some really well-hit balls from Jackson Cotton, Sean Marquez, and Michael Peavy, but also some rough plays at first. 2 errors in that inning from Henry Beck over at first. First, a catching error that allowed Michael Peavy to advance to second and allowed the first run of the game to come across to score. Then the second one allowed 2 runs to score, allowing Peavy to come around and score, and Magallanes not too far behind him. Not helping out Caleb Kimball much. Was able to get out of it with a double play. Now the St. Thomas Eagles in a big hole to start this game, down 4-0.
Now batting for the Eagles, number 32, Jackson Riles.
Jackson Riles, the DH, will look to try and chip away here at this lead here, down early. Four to nothing our score here at the pit, here at St. Pius X High School. Sun is finally set. Getting cooler. First pitch high. Pops out of the glove of the catcher, Arcia, for ball 1.
Ball was thrown to touch.
Riles settling back in. First inning saw Garen Houston strike out, Evan Wisnowski walk, but then get picked off trying to steal second. Ambrose reach on an E9, and then Kimball strikeout swinging. Count 2-0 now as that ball misses outside. Jaden Lee was very sharp to start. Just throwing pitches for strikes, and on that mention, he throws one in there, 2-1 the count now to Jackson Riles.
Panthers elect
2-1 here outside, 3-1 now. Riles will absolutely take a walk if he can get it. Trying to get some guys on the pond here for potentially the bottom of the lineup. And he'll work his walk. 3-1 outside, so Riles gets on with nobody out here to start the second inning for St. Thomas, who was behind 4-0 to start this contest. Now an early meeting at the mound here. Coach Mike Evans going to have to talk with his pitcher, Jaden Lee. Catcher Jorge Arcia going out to join him. Can't imagine he'll be pulled this early, but we'll see. Hey, the Legacy Sports Network, lsnsports.com, broadcasting high school athletics for 17 years in the greater Houston area, is building a legacy one game at a time. Please follow us on our social media pages. Like us on Facebook by looking up LSN Sports. Follow us on X, formerly Twitter, at Legacy Sports Net, and on Instagram at the Legacy Sports Network.
Now batting number 16, Jackson Landcliffe.
Landcliffe's up to bat now. Jaden Lee still on the bump, so just a little brief conversation with him up there to calm him down. Riles tiptoeing away from first, being held on over there by Evans. First pitch in there for a strike. Carson Evan, the first baseman over there, played a pretty sure-handed first base in that last game on Tuesday. St. Thomas won that one 5-4. The Panthers already having matched their run total from that game in the first inning. 0-1 here to Landcliffe. Drop strike. 0-2 now. Riles retreats back to first. Jane Lee, not the tallest guy out there. Definitely a bit of a contrast compared to Caleb Kimball, but he is slinging them in the zone right now. 0-2, nobody out here, top of the second. Ball hit hard the other way, but it's going to hang up just enough for the right fielder, Broussard, who's going to throw back to first, but Riles will get back in time. One out here and a hard line out from Landcliffe.
Now batting number 33, Henry Beck.
Broussard had an error in that last inning that allowed Ambrose to get on. That time makes the sure-handed play, and now Henry Beck coming up with one out here. Beck, Baskin, Anthony Borja, if one of those two can manage to keep this inning going. 3 hits in the first inning for St. Pius X, all from the top third of the lineup. Quick talking to from the shortstop Peavy with his guy Lee. So that's 2 conversations already had at the mound. Jackson Riles over at first, the DH. Thinking about it. Pitch in there, gets away from the catcher, so Riles will take second as that ball dribbled away from Arcia. So now 1-0 with a runner on second with one out here in the top of the second. Call that one a wild pitch as that one bounced in the dirt a good solid few feet before it reached Landcliffe, or Beck rather, at the plate. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out here, top of the second. St. Thomas in an 0-4 deficit here to start after 4 runs came across in the bottom of the first. That ball high, 2-0 now. Beck being patient up there. That one's low as well, so 3-0 here for Henry Beck. He's gotten some spot starts here and there. Started in that game against Kincaid.
Penalty on the Mustangs.
3-0 here. That one's low as well. So a 4-pitch walk to Henry Beck, who gets on. So 2 on here for Jake Baskin. Riles at second.
Now
Henry
batting
Beck
number
over at
24,
first.
Jake Baskin.
Jake Baskin coming up now. Big power bat. Homered in that game on Tuesday. It was a solo shot that got the scoring going for the Eagles. Jaden Lee slings the pitch in there. That one's outside. Ball was dropped. Ball. So that's 5 consecutive balls thrown by Jaden Lee. Started off strong, was pouring strikes into the zone early, but now having some trouble with his command. (1-0) swing and a miss from Baskin. Chased that one high above the zone. 1-1 the count now with 1 out here, top of the second. Been a long start to this game, already 36 minutes in from first pitch, and we're still only in the top of the second. Marquez checking in on second base. Pitch is thrown in there outside. Ball. 2-1 the count. Jake Baskin. Calm and steady up there in the right-handed hitter's batting box. Check over at second. Riles back safely. Tag applied by Marquez, but he was back in plenty of time. Count still 2-1 here to Jake Baskin, the right fielder. Hasn't seen any balls hit his way yet in the outfield. 2-1. Hit high. That one's going to drift foul. Fall harmlessly. Always a bit of a game whenever that ball is hit behind the netting. People have to keep their head on a swivel. I'm set up behind home plate on the third base side, so hopefully nothing hits my equipment. Knowing my luck, that'll be exactly what happens, but hopefully not. As the count is 2-2 here to Jake Baskin. The pitch. That one's inside. Count full, 3-2. 1 out here at the top of the second. St. Thomas down 4-0. Riles on second. Henry Beck on first after a walk. The 3-2 pitch. That one's outside, so the bases will be loaded for Anthony Borja hitting ninth. Already the third walk issued here by Jaden Lee.
Now batting number 7, Anthony Borja.
Anthony Borja batting here was one of the few to not get a hit in that game or to not reach base. Jaden Lee, after getting 2 strikeouts, has walked 3 in the second, had walked 1 back in the first, who is up to 4 total so far today. Anthony Borja looking to put some runs on the board to get St. Thomas back into this game as the first pitch is in there for a strike. 0-1 here to Anthony Borja with 1 out here. Garen Houston on deck in the leadoff spot. That ball hit the other way, and that one is gonna drop, so 2 runs will score as that ball settled out into the outfield. Nice base hit from Anthony Borja. Now there's a bit of a situation on the base pass. They're going to tag one of the runners out. Like they got Beck trying to take first, and they're going to get 2. He's going to be safe at second, and now the ball gets away from the runner at first. Ball being thrown everywhere now. They're going to go back to second and get the runner out at first, and that's going to end the inning. I'm not sure what that was, but 2 runners came across to score, but then the ball was thrown in. They had Beck hung up at home plate. They tagged him out there for the second out. Then they tried to go back to second to get the runner Baskin. He got back safely, but then the runner, Anthony Borja, was caught at first. He tried to run to second and then got tagged out at second. So 2 outs, 2 runs will come across to score. So we'll go to break here after that wild sequence and come back for the bottom of this inning here on the Legacy Sports Network.
took a lot of sacrifice to be able to own my own home, and I'm gonna keep working hard to maintain it. Like, fixing the roof and updating the AC, because my dream is to someday pass this house down to my kids.
At Stellar Bank, we're all about making your dreams a reality. Whether you need a home improvement, a mortgage, or home equity loan, Stellar Bank's lending experts will help find the solution that's right for you. Visit stellar.bank/home to learn more. Stellar Bank. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender. NMLS number 451312.
And welcome back here to the pit. Wild sequence we saw on the top of the first. Officially, only one run came across the score, so they tagged back out before he could touch home plate. So after loading the bases with one out, double play in a wacky situation after a single was hit into the gap in center right field. Right fielder
Leading off the second
Broussard
for your Panthers,
got
number
it in.
10, Carson Evans.
After Broussard threw it in, they tagged out back before he could touch home plate, and then they got the hitter Borja hung up between first and second for the second out. So big chance thrown by the wayside as only one run comes across and the inning ends as Caleb Kimball's back out here and his first pitch is low for a ball. St. Thomas trailing now 4-1. Jaden Lee struggled with his command there, but was able to get the outs he needed, excuse me. Second pitch in there for a ball, 2-0. Adding Carson Evans, the first baseman, hitting 8th in this lineup for the Panthers. 2-0 from Kimball. That one missed, 3-0. So we've seen a lot of walks here in this game. Only one from Kimball, but he gave up 3 singles to compensate for it. That one's in there for a strike, 3-1. Carson Evans, Jaden Lee, Jackson Cotton. That ball hit over the pitcher, Kimball. Attempted play over there by the second baseman, Borja, won't be made. So another inning where the first hitter reaches. Well hit single by Carson Evans.
Number 8, Jaden Lee.
Jaden Lee, the pitcher, hitting for himself here in the 9 spot. Already a runner on. Playing some stock music as his walk-up song. Something I'm sure many Gen Z kids are very familiar with, including myself. Not my first choice for a walk-up, but it is very recognizable. It's already 4 hits here for the Panthers as they put up a 4 spot in that first inning. Looking to add some more here in the second, up 4-1 with their turn in the frame in the bottom half. Jaden Lee hit for himself in that last game as the third baseman, also hitting 9th. Bunt laid down, back to the pitcher Kimball, who can't corral it. That time the play over to first, so the sacrifice works from Lee as Evans will go to second for the first out of the inning. Lineup will turn over to Jackson Cotton, who got on once after seeing 1 pitch.
Jackson Cotton.
Cotton known to ambush pitches, only saw 1 in the first inning and saw 1 in the first inning of the game on Tuesday to get himself on. So he's not afraid to swing early. Again, this top third for St. Pius X, so lethal, so good. Kimball looking to try and avoid what happened in that last inning here by getting some outs. First pitch, low, ball 1. One ball, no strikes, 1 out here, bottom of the second. The pitch. That one also low, 2-0 now. Sun's starting to set here in totality. 2-0 the count, 1 out here, bottom of the second. Caleb Kimball again and facing another long inning here if he can't get Cotton out. That one outside, 3-0 now, in danger of walking another batter. He's gotten 3 hits, already walked 1. 3-0 from Kimball. That one's high, so another walk issued out, that time on 4 pitches. Cotton's on here. Sean Marquez will come up to bat here. He singled his last time up.
Now batting, number 2, Sean Marquez.
So far, Kimball's given up 3 hits, 4 hits, 2 walks. Someone's reached on an error. And a few sacrifices as well. 0-0. Meeting on the mound here for Caleb Kimball. Pitching coach Jeff McCurry out to talk to him. Trying to get his starter to calm down, settle down. It's been a tough start to the game for the young man, but he definitely has the stuff to get out of it if he can land it. Meeting mound ends as Coach McCurry will retreat back to the dugout. Some positive body language here from Kimball as Ambrose comes up to talk to him, gives him a pat on the shoulder.
Now batting, number 2, Sean Marquez.
Sean Marquez up. Michael Peavy hitting third, waiting on deck. Already 4-1 here in favor of St. Pius X. If you're just joining us, bottom of the second here. Runners on first and second. Only 1 out here. Marquez looking to get a hold of one. 1-0. That one dribbled towards the shortstop, land close. He'll make the play and only has 1 play to make over to first. So the runners will advance
Now
over.
batting, number 1,
Second and third.
Michael Peavy.
2 outs here for Michael Peavy with 2 guys in scoring position. Very similar situation to what happened last time. Peavy singled, but then Henry Beck wasn't able to handle the catch over to first to retire the side, potentially, and allow the other runner to score. First pitch down low, 1-0, 2 outs here. Kimball in his second inning of work here gave up 4 runs in that first. 1-0. Nice breaking ball in there for a strike. Count even at 1-1. One more out gets Kimball out of this inning. 1-1. Big swing and a miss from Peavy. Try to get a hold of that one. Was out in front. 1-2 now. Kimball taking his time, not in any particular rush. Trying to get his mind right and settle in here. 1-2, 2 outs. Runner on second and third. Kimball versus Peavy. His pitch, that one's low. Count goes even 2-2. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Peavy. Looking to drive in 2 more if he can get one out into the outfield. Kimball's pitch. Swing and a miss. That's a big strikeout there for Kimball as he keeps it empty. No runs come across to score in the bottom of the second. Still 4-1 in favor of St. Pius. Eagles back up to bat when we come back here on the Legacy Sports Network.
It took a lot of sacrifice to be able to own my own home, and I'm gonna keep working hard to maintain it. Like, fixing a roof and updating the AC, because my dream is to someday pass this house down to my kids.
At Stellar Bank, we're all about making your dreams a reality. Whether you need a home improvement, a mortgage, or home equity loan, Stellar Bank's lending experts will help find the solution that's right for you. Visit stellar.bank/home to learn more. Stellar Bank. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender. NMLS number 451312.
Welcome back here. Top of the third coming up. St. Pius Panthers currently up 4-1 on the St. Thomas Eagles, having already matched their run total on that game on Tuesday. St. Thomas won that one in walk-off fashion, 5-4. Different story here to start. St. Pius, the 10th, came out swinging strong. 3 straight singles from Cotton, Marquez, and Peavy, all of whom would come around and score, along with Adrian Magallanes, who got on with a walk. Some poorly timed errors at first base allowed them all to come home. 1 run scored in the top of the second, but a bad double play from the outfield got Henry Beck out at home, and they got Anthony Borja between second and first where he was tagged out. So the score right now, 4-1. Could have been a lot more runs in favor of the Eagles, but some poor base running decisions have limited that. And, you know, we talked about it with Coach Mazziotti in the interview before the game. They really work on base running. They have some guys that are very athletic that can make things happen, but right now that kind of working against their favor. Some poor decisions, maybe thinking a bit too much of their athleticism potentially, preventing them from maybe getting some more runs across here. Lineup turning over here, it'll be Houston, Wisnowski, and Ambrose.
Number 4, Garrett Houston.
Garrett Houston up to bat, struck out swinging as the first batter against Jaden Lee. Top of the third inning here. Top third here for St. Thomas. Going to claw their way back into this one, as they've had to do a few times this season. Lee's first pitch, a breaking ball low, called for a strike 0-1. Nice pitch there from Lee. He's been kind of back and forth. Had a really good first inning. That ball hit hard. Be making the play, though, is the second baseman, Marquez, for the first out of the inning here. Houston 0 for 2 to start this game.
Number 22, Evan Wisnowski.
Evan Wisnowski now back up, walked back in the first inning. Worked a really good AB against Jaden Lee. Count went full, but he was able to lay off the pitch outside and get himself on first base. Was caught stealing, however, though, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Base running definitely playing a part here in this game so far. Ball low, 1-0. 1 out here already in the top of the third inning. Bottom third's been kind of a struggle for St. Thomas. Went 2 for 8. Ball line, foul. Wisnowski started sprinting out of the box, was going to have to come back. Just a little out in front of that one. Bottom third went 2 for 8 last game. The home run, courtesy of Jake Baskin, had 2 RBIs, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. They were good in that game, but been looking for some more consistent production. Anthony Borja got a hit in the 9-hole. It was thrown out, trying to take second with the ball in play. 2-1 the count now as that ball misses low. 1 out here in the top of the third. 4-1 our score in favor of St. Pius the 10th. That ball hit hard, but over right towards the shortstop, who can't handle it. Wisnowski's going to be on, and a tough play for Peavy to make. We'll see what they rule that one. Either way, Wisnowski is on here for the second straight AB.
Number 23, Jackson Ambrose.
Jackson Ambrose, the catcher now, who reached on an E9 back in the first. Actually ruling that one an error, it seems, so that'll be an E6. Check on over and Wisnowski at first. That's what got him out back in that first, a little too overzealous away from first. He slipped actually prior to being thrown out and made it a close play after the catcher Arcia threw back to try and tag him out. So definitely keeping an eye on him. Big swing and a miss there from Ambrose, 0-1. 1 out here, top of the third. Runner is Wisnowski at first. Carson Evans not paying any particular mind to him over there, kind of staying in his spot at his position. 0-1 in there for a strike, 0-2. Lee's had some wild misses, but he's also had some really great pitches dotted on the outside. See what he goes to here with the count in his favor, 0-2.
That brings a score.
0-2. That one outside, 1-2. Ambrose didn't chase. Already 4 hits today for St. Pius compared to the 1 for St. Thomas. 1 hit officially and 1 run. 1-2 from Lee. That one's just a bit high. 2-2 the count now. Wisnowski's been kind of faking over there at first, hasn't gotten yet. Definitely among the team leaders in steals for St. Thomas, so it wouldn't be a surprise to see him go necessarily. See what he opts to do here in a 2-2 count. That one hit high. It'll go foul. Tapped against the plate, stayed in bounds for a bit. Eventually went foul after Lee gave chase, so count still remains at 2-2. A lot of turnout here for this Friday night game between district rivals. Prior to Tuesday, St. Thomas called it rivalry week, knowing they had to play 2 home and away against the Panthers. 2-2. That one got him looking. Great breaking pitch to Jackson Ambrose, and he's down without having swung the bat on that one. Third strikeout here for Lee as Caleb Kimball comes up. Caleb Kimball was one of those strikeouts. The second one struck out swinging back in the first. Evan Wisnowski still at first, having reached on the E6 by Michael Peavy. Kimball looking to keep this inning going. The 0-0 inside, 1-0. Wisnowski being really patient over there at first. Caleb Kimball digging in here. The 1-0 to Kimball. That one gets away, hits the backstop. You heard the thump on the crowd mic, and Wisnowski will take second on a wild pitch. So as it turns out, that patience rewards him as he's able to get in a scoring position here for Kimball. St. Thomas good with scoring position on Tuesday. Went 3 for 6. So not the most opportunities, but hitting 500 when they got themselves in there. Already have had a few missed opportunities here, but Kimball looking to just keep chipping away. 2-0 the count here to Kimball with Wisnowski now at second. Jaden Lee on the bump here for the Panthers. Time called. Shortstop Peavy was sprinting over to check up on the Brunner Wisnowski. No throw over, so time was called. Kimball digging in. The 2-0 to him. That one's hit hard, foul, pulled it. Seen a few batters out in front of these pitches from Lee. Wisnowski got a hold of one that went foul. Line drive. So definitely a lot of deception on the off speed and the breaking stuff from Jaden Lee here for the Panthers. Count 2-1 here with 2 outs. St. Thomas trailing 4-1 here with a runner in scoring position. Time called again, this time at the plate from Caleb Kimball. Lee had already been in the motion of throwing his pitch. Won't count, now a quick timeout. Another mound visit here for Lee, who has not been afraid to use him. Already the third here for him. He's gotten 2 from his catcher, 1 from his coach. I'm just going over the signs here as they make sure to know what to do here with the power bat. Kimball up. And Kimball, very imposing presence in the batter's box. Hurts you in a lot of different ways up there, but he loves to get a hold of one if he can. 2-1 here to him. The pitch from Lee. Hit high in the air. Ranging back is the center fielder, and he'll be able to make the play on the warning track. Caught. So Kimball did get a hold of one, but not enough of it as that chance goes by the wayside. When we come back, it'll be the bottom of the third inning here on the Legacy Sports Network.
Now for your Wellness Minute with Dr. Steve Hotze.
Not only do your allergies contribute to missed days at work and increased healthcare costs, allergies also contribute to overall poor health and can decrease your quality of life. Allergies cause your cells to release histamine, which causes inflammation. This inflammatory response can affect your sinuses, lungs, skin, nerves, joints, muscles, and other organs. Allergies can begin at any age, even midlife, and if left untreated can lead to sinus infections, skin disorders, asthma, migraines, and insomnia. Medications can only mask symptoms. Experience shows that it's better to prevent the underlying allergic reaction. Imagine how nice it will be to enjoy the outdoors without suffering from allergies.
The Hotze Health and Wellness Center identifies the root cause of symptoms, helping to restore your health. We resolve allergies naturally and conveniently with our new state-of-the-art low-dose immunotherapy treatment. Call a wellness consultant today at 281-990-4793. That's 281-990-4793. 4-1
our score here at the pit. St. Thomas trailing in this one early after giving up a 4 spot in the first inning. Kimball threw a scoreless frame in the second. He'll look to keep that one going here as it'll be the middle three. Coming up for the Panthers, Arcia, Magallanes, and Sturm. Coming up to bat here for St. Pius X. Been kind of up and down for both pitchers. Obviously, the score favors St. Pius.
All right, Panther fans, let's make some noise for ahora bateando número 11, Jorge Arcia.
After a dominant first inning from Lee, saw it kind of get away from him in the second. Got back to it in the third. For his third inning of work here. First pitch gets away, bounce up to the plate, 1-0. Just getting into the swing of things here in district. Always a very important time of the year for both teams, especially in a loaded standings in district. Like TAPS District 4 D1. Swing and a miss, 1-1, the count now. St. Thomas will go back home to play St. John 23, rather, for the Strikeout Cancer Classic. St. Pius X will go and take on Houston Christian as that ball is fouled back, line drive. Might have reached the parking lot, 1-2. One and two here from Kimball. That ball hit over to the shortstop, land close. He'll grab it, it'll get away. So another error here. Would have been a tough play to make regardless, but already the third error of the game.
Number 21, Adrian Magallanes.
Another error here. Magallanes will come up to bat. He walked his last time up. Magallanes reached his last time up, and as did Drake Sturm. So runner on first here is Arcia for Magallanes. No outs here in the inning, time called. Magallanes put up a pretty patient AB his last time up. PA, I should say, as he walked. Giannis crouching there in the right-handed batter's box. Getting low, bat low. That ball gets away 1-0. Kimball's had trouble with command and with some of the defense being played behind him. He won't take that as an excuse. Definitely haven't been ideal positions for him to be in, as that one's in there for a strike, 1-1. Giannis, not the tallest guy up there, but he knows how to put the bat in the ball as he shows bunt here. Campbell being patient. Infield is crashing. That one's popped up, but out of play. Not the most ideal bunt there. Hung up, but hit the netting. So no ability to make the play on it for Wisnowski over at third base. 1-2 the count now. Still nobody out with Arcia, the catcher, over at first. Kimball's pitch. That one dribbled over to the third baseman. That one sails over the head of Beck. Another error, this time throwing. Kimball will retreat behind the plate. Throw will get in, so nobody will score, but another error here for the Eagles, and it is looking bad out here.
Now batting, number 19, Drake Sturm.
That one a two-bag error, so runners at second and third with nobody out here for Drake Sturm as the Panthers looking to extend their lead here. Already 4 errors on the game here for the Eagles. 2 from Beck, 1 from Landclose, and 1 from Wisnowski, all on the infield. There's been a rough display of defense out here to start this game. Well, in the top of the third, that one almost sailed away from Kimball. Great catch from Ambrose back there. Make sure it didn't allow the runner from third to score. Drake Sturm reached on one of those errors back in the first. Henry Beck wasn't able to secure the catch, so he was able to get himself over to first safely. 1-0 the count here. We're going to call a balk, it looks like. The runner from third will come to score, so things just falling apart here. So the score now 5-0 after a balk from Kimball. Sends the runner home. Also advances the runner from second to third. 5-1 our score here. That pitch in there for a strike from Kimball. Now 1-1 the count. This has not been the kind of game Coach Mazziotti would have wanted to see from his guys. That ball fouled back. One, two, the count here against Drake Sturm. Still nobody out here, top of the third. Caleb Kimball looking to limit the damage where he can. Ball low, 2-2. Kimball's 2-2. Low again. Count goes full 3-2. Again, Magallanes on third. He was at second. Arcia was at third, but then a balk from Caleb Kimball allowed both to advance and for Arcia to score, making our score 5-1 here in the bottom of the third inning. Full count 3-2 pitch here from Kimball. That one got Sturm looking. Called strike 3. Kimball definitely needed that one for the first out of the inning.
Number 9, Devin Mayahi.
Devin Mayahi, DH, hit into a double play his last time up to end the threat in the first inning. Looking to rectify that here with the 5-1 lead. Runner still at third. He was the pitcher in that game on Tuesday. Went 4 innings, allowed 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 of which were earned, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Left with a no decision in that contest. First pitch misses for a ball. Kimball's next one, that one sails over the head of Mayahi, but not enough to get away from the catcher Ambrose. It's 2-0 now. A very long start to this game. That fastball sped in there for a strike, 2-1. For whatever command struggles he's had, Kimball has really been doing well with making sure that the fastball still has a lot of life on it. 2-1, 1 out, runner on third. Kimball's pitch fouled back, 2-2 the count. Strikeout would do a lot here for Kimball. Imagine that bullpen for St. Thomas starting to churn a little bit as they get some arms loose. Might be a pitcher by committee situation here. The 2-2. That one fouled and caught. Foul tip, strikeout. Second consecutive strikeout here as he gets Mayahi.
Evans.
Carson Evans now coming up to bat here. 2 outs here. Agayan is still at third. Reached on an E5 2-bagger, then advanced to third on the balk. Time called early here by Carson Evans. 5th batter of the inning here. 5 went up to bat in the second. There were 7 who went up to hit back in the first against Kimball. First pitch outside, 1-0. Carson Evans was stranded over at third, back in the second. That ball hit hard, but right back to Kimball, who was able to snag it and make the play over to Beck to retire the side. So the only one run comes across to score.
We go into the 4th.
However, St. Thomas still trailing 5-1. We'll see what they can do in the top of the 4th when we come back on the Legacy Sports Network.
Sing it if you know.
Forming, rolling, punching, cutting, welding. If you know what I'm talking about, you know it's the Walk-Up Company. The Walk-Up Company has become the leading metal fabricator in the Houston area because we can offer you something few others can match. Extensive fabrication experience, a highly seasoned and skilled workforce, high-tech equipment, and the stability you want in tough economic times. Family owned and operated for years, so you know we'll be here for the long run. And our commitment to quality work and customer satisfaction makes the Walk-Up Company the right choice for you. Visit us at walkupco.com. That's walkupco.com. The Walk-Up Company. Your imagination, our fabrication.
Neil Diamond playing here at the pit. A lot of reason to dance and sing here for the Panthers as they lead 5-1 heading into the top of the 4th inning. On the other side for St. Thomas, 4 errors committed on the infield. Been a very sloppy game defensively for the visiting St. Thomas Eagles. Jaden Lee will come out for the 4th inning here for his 4th inning of work. Batting for the Eagles will be Riles, Landclose, and Henry Beck. DH, shortstop, and first baseman. Riles reached on a walk his last time up. Would come around to score.
Now batting number 32, Jackson Riles.
Wants to see if he can do the same thing here. Try and chip away at this lead that St. Pius X has built up for themselves here as we start the 4th inning. First pitch spiked, ball 1. And only 4 hits on the day so far for the Panthers, but 5 runs across, owing to the errors committed. A few walks across as well, but it's not helping themselves out here. That ball hit hard the other way from Riles, but that hangs up enough for the right fielder Broussard to make the play.
For those of you keeping track, it's the 4th inning, and LSU is on top of the University of Texas, 2-1. Now batting, Jackson Landclose.
Update on the LSU-Texas game. I would know plenty about that. My mom went to LSU. My dad's a Longhorn. I've been talking about that pretty nonstop between the March Madness tournament. Great part of the year for sports. Baseball in full swing. March Madness going on. Spring training for baseball winding down as we approach the regular season for MLB. First pitch in there for a ball. Second one misses. 2-0 here to Jackson Landclose. Got a lot of talent here at the TAPS division. So many players that can go pro. 3-0 here to Landclose. Of course, Bryce Matthews with the Astros right now. Native Houstonian, RBI scout team member. And one of the top prospects in the Astros organization. 4 straight balls here from Jaden Lee. Jackson Landclose works the walk. 1 on with 1 out here in the top of the 4th. Coming up will be Henry Beck, who walked himself his last time up. A tough day for him defensively, looking to make up for some of that here at the plate. Speaking of prospects, Cam Smith, the return package. Part of the return package for the Astros in the Kyle Tucker trade, looking fantastic in spring training. Homered yesterday. Ball popped high into the air. We'll see where that one lands. It's going to stay in play, actually, and won't be caught, however. Arcia had a look at it. Beckett was already off to first. He'll have to retreat back. 0-1 the count. Smith struck out twice today. Homered yesterday. One of the better hitters on the Astros spring in West Palm Beach, along with Jeremy Pena, who's been putting up a really good spring as well. 0-1 the count, 1 out here. Landclose at first. Definitely a threat to steal, and that one hits Henry Beck. So a hit by pitch has Landclose at second and Beck at first with 1 out here after Rios flew out sharply to the center fielder, Jackson Cotton.
Now batting number 24, Jake Baskin.
Power threat Jake Baskin coming up to bat now. Walked his last time up as well in the second. Got 2 on for him here. Could definitely use the big power swing here from Baskin. As they trail 5-1 here. First pitch spiked low, ball 1. Lee's missed a few times up there. It's a closer left field and a right field than center. Center field has a bit of an elevated wall here at the pit. 365 dead center here at the stadium. That one high, right in the face of Baskin, who will take 2-0 now. Now a quick meeting at the mound here to talk to Jaden Lee, who has struggled a bit here with his command. Hey, Brant and Jen Stogner are trial attorneys that specialize in personal injury. Whether you've had a car accident or were involved in a catastrophic explosion at a local refinery, Brant and Jen have recovered hundreds of millions of dollars for their clients. If you or someone you love has been involved in a catastrophic accident due to the negligence of someone else, call Brant and Jen Stogner at 713-222-2222 for a free consultation and find out what your case might be worth. Brant and Jen Stogner, supporting local high school athletics. Coach retreats. Lee will get back on the bump. 2-0 count here, 1 out. That one in there for a strike now, 2-1. So we're here in the top of the 4th inning with St. Thomas trailing 5-1 in what's been a wacky game for the most part. A lot of errors. We've seen a balk from the St. Thomas side. Not typically what we're used to seeing from the usually stout defense, especially on the infield, from the Eagles. Landclose at second, Beck at first. Ball popped up on the infield. Who wants it? Will sink out of the infield and carry all the way over to Broussard over and right, who makes the play. be the second out of the inning here. Jackson Landclose took the opportunity to take third, so it'll be runners at first and third with 2 outs here. For Anthony Borja, who did single but got himself thrown out on the base paths. Gonna get another single here potentially and see what he can do to drive in some more runs. Righty on righty matchup with Borja against Lee. Ball hit high, curling, and it's gone. A home run for Anthony. Oh, it's caught. No, it's caught. It's caught. Bit of a tough angle over here. Heard some cheers. Evidently was not a home run. Close for Borja, but not quite enough. Side is retired. That'll do it here for St. Thomas here. Score remains 5-1. Be right back for the bottom of the fourth here on the Legacy Sports Network.
We've got the power to make things right. Mr. Electric, show you the light.
Looking for electrical help you can count on? Switch to Mr. Electric. We have some of the best trained electricians in the business, and they're ready to help you with any project, big or small. Best of all, with Mr. Electric, our work is 100% guaranteed. That's why so many people trust Mr. Electric.
We've got the power to make things better. Mr. Electric.
Living on a prayer playing here at the pit. As there was a threat there by St. Thomas at the top of the fourth that wasn't able to ultimately convey. Landclose was at third, Beck at first. Baskin popped out to the right fielder, Broussard, and then a fly out to the left fielder, Sturm, from Borja to end the threat and keep the score at 5-1 as we approach the bottom of the fourth. Here on the Legacy Sports Network. Again, glad you could be here with us. I know there's a lot of sports going on right now currently. It'll be Jaden Lee, the pitcher, batting for himself here in the bottom part of the order, followed by the top two, Cotton and Marquez, here for the Panthers. It'll be a new pitcher, it seems, for St. Thomas. Get a read on the number. Thinking it's Hayden Murphy.
New pitcher for the Eagles, number 27.
Patrick Daly, rather, now in.
Leading off for your Panthers, number 8, Jaden Lee.
So new pitcher on the current pitcher now is the matchup. Daly in his last start was only able to go 1 inning. That game against Kincaid. First pitch goes the other way. He'll get through.
Yeah, baby.
So the first pitch that Lee sees, he takes it the other way on the ground for a single. And he's on to start the inning against Patrick Daly, the new pitcher.
Now adding number 22, Jackson Cotton.
Cotton has singled and walked so far in this game, looking to keep it going. Runner on first, nobody out here against the top of the order for Patrick Daly, the new pitcher in for the Eagles. His first pitch sails outside for a ball. Kind of figured it would be a bit of a committee pitching duty once Kimball was unable to go deep in this game. Really struggled in the first, second, and third. Defense didn't help him. His second pitch sails
moving
inside.
to center field from pitcher Caleb Kimball, and at first base Isa Garcia.
So Isa Garcia in at first, as you heard the defensive rotations. Kimball in center field. Patrick Daly, the new pitcher. He'll check over at first, and they might have had him picked off, but it gets away, and he'll take off for second. Threw over to first once they saw that Lee was going. And end up stealing second anyway. That's kind of how it's gone tonight defensively here for the Eagles, who have really just struggled to get outs here. 2-0 the count now here to Cotton. Righty on lefty matchup. A lot of clapping over there for St. Pius X. He's had a lot to clap about here today. A lot of energy in that dugout. 2-0 here to Cotton. The runner in scoring position, Jaden Lee, the pitcher. Is 2-0. That one's high, 3-0. Cotton looking to get his first out of his relief appearance here in the top of the fourth, dispelling Caleb Kimball, who went 3 innings. This 3-0 is low. So Cotton will get on once more. He's reached all 3 times.
Now batting number 2, Sean Marquez.
Cotton had singled back in the first, walked in the second, has walked again here in the fourth, and now Marquez up, who singled in the first. Rounded out to the shortstop, Land close in the second. Still a threat regardless.
Got 30 down at the bottom, 30 more at the top. Only visibles and little ice cube blocks.
Quick talk, and now we're back in the action. Marquez will dig in here. Runners were convening with the third base coach to see what the signs were potentially for a steal play. Daly not the quickest to the plate. We'll see what that entails here. Daly's faced 2 batters. Both of them have reached. It's 0-0. Hit back up the middle. Strong hit. The runners had to freeze a little bit. It gets away out there, and a runner will come across to score.
Yeah,
so 6-1 our score now, as Sean Marquez hits one into the outfield to pad the lead here.
Now batting number 1, Michael Beebe.
Kind of got away from Kimball in the outfield a little bit. Over in center field now. So Daly has allowed all 3 hitters he's faced to reach. Struggling out here as the score is 1-6 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Still not out of it yet. Runners on second and third with nobody out. Oh, and 1 now turns into a 1-1. Been a long battle for a lot of these pitchers here. That ball hit foul. 1-2. Daly ahead of his first batter. Still nobody out here as Panthers have even more of a chance to score here. Brief break in the action. So ball is given to the home plate umpire.
Here is failure to communicate.
Quick meeting at the mound here between Daly and Ambrose. There's more chance coming from the way of the Panther dugout. To encourage his guy Peavy at the plate here to add 2 more here. Deficit currently 1-6 for the Eagles. That ball bounces away 2-2, stays in front of Ambrose, so runners will stay put. Second and third, still nobody out. Daly's 2-2. Hit the other way, hit pretty hard, but hangs up just enough out there for Baskin. Both runners will advance. One will come in to score, now 7-1 for the Panthers.
Baby. Ahora bateando, número 11, Jorge Garcia.
Now Jorge Garcia up to bat. Officially 0 for 2, but he has come across to score thanks to a walk from Caleb Kimball when he was on third after reaching on an E6 from land close. First swing is a miss, 0-1. (7-1) currently the score. St. Pius X leading St. Thomas on a Friday night. Sun is completely set here. Wind starting to get a little stronger. Flag is moving out there. 1-1 the count. Garcia swings through that one, 1-2. Runner on third is Marquez, who reached on a single. Sitting has gone single, walk, single, sack, fly for the Panthers. Another ball hit the other way, high into the air. That one's going to get all the way to the wall. It drops. Getting home with ease will be Marquez, and that'll be a double.
Yeah, baby.
Jorge Garcia.
Now batting number 21, Adrian Magallanes.
Adrian Magallanes up. It's 8-1 now. St. Pius X ahead. We are approaching potential run rule territory.
Running, number 24, Jackson Roberts.
Pinch runner in. Over at first will be Jackson Roberts. In for Garcia. Over at second, rather, excuse me. As Magallanes digs in, trying to add even more against Patrick Daly's line. First pitch is a swing and a miss, 0-1. So Daly has gotten ahead of these hitters, but has been unable to put them away for the most part. Again, allowed the first three he faced in Lee, Cotton, Marquez to reach. Sacrifice fly by Peavy would be the one out he has thus recorded so far, and he just gave up a double to Jorge Garcia to drive in another one. 0-1. That one in there, 0-2, so Daly in a favorable count here. It's Adrian Magallanes, who has walked, gotten on after a throwing error from Evan Wisnowski. 0-2 the count here. Daly looking to put him away. That one's low, 1-2. Now an hour and a half since first pitch. To the bottom of the fourth. It's been a long game and a lot of waiting, a lot of batters coming up to hit. Neither pitcher has been moving particularly quickly. Jane Lee's been good, but Kimball and now Daly are both struggling as that pitch misses inside. 2-2 now. Magallanes does not offer as he's reached twice. Been shown to be very patient at the plate as he's done both in the game on Tuesday and now here again tonight. Still only one out here, bottom of the fourth. 2-2. That one's high, count now full. 3 runs across here so far in this inning, all charged to Daly. Kimball had given up 5 runs. Not all of them were earned, however. 4 errors while he was on the bump. Full count to Magallanes, the 3-2. Ball dribbled. Gonna stay fair and they're gonna call it foul before Wisnowski can make the throw over. So it'll stay at 3-2. Would have been a tough play to make regardless for Magallanes. It's been a long night in the office for the Eagles pitching staff. We might have to try and piece together the rest of this one the rest of the way. 5th, 6th, and potentially 7th if they can't put together a few runs here to get back into this one. Currently down 8-1. The pitch, and they got him looking, so Magallanes retired for the first time this
Now
evening.
batting
2
number 19,
away.
Drake Sturm.
Drake Sturm up to bat now. Runner at second. Still Jackson in for Arcia. Jackson Roberts, excuse me. Check on over at second, no pitch, still 0-0, 2 outs here, score 8-1 in favor of St. Pius X. First pitch, breaker in there for a strike, 0-1. This has been a pretty consistent problem for the pitchers outside of Murphy or Ambrose, or rather Murphy and Comstock, excuse me. Been trying to find guys who can piece together these solid outings in the back of a rotation. There just really hasn't been anyone who's emerged. They've tried Daly, now they've tried Kimball. Definitely have some stuff with the arms, but just haven't been consistent enough to get strikes over the plate and get quick innings. Check on over at second. Now the pitch gets away from Ambrose, so the runner will advance all the way down to third. Roberts. Batter did not offer, so it's 1-1. Drake Sturm hitting now. Struck out looking in the third, reached on an error back in the first. One of many. 1-1, 2 outs here, bottom of the fourth. Runner on third. Daly's pitch, swung on and fouled just a lit, goes to the backstop, 1-2. Daly looking for his second straight strikeout. Popped up. Hang up just enough for Borja to make the play, and that will be the inning. 3 runs added, however, for the Panthers, and it's 8-1, St. Pius X.
Panthers up 8-1.
DeRoche Partners LLP, located in Houston and Dallas, offers a complete range of tax assurance and consulting services to a diverse portfolio of clients. Their team is dedicated to the highest ethics of our profession with a commitment to excellence. This is accomplished by putting an emphasis on providing superior professional services specifically tailored to meet the needs of our clients. DeRoche Partners aim to provide valuable insight, effective solutions, and maintain long-lasting business relationships. Their high recruiting standards and culture of excellence is uncommon and unrivaled. They want to wish all the student athletes good luck. Visit DeRoche Partners on the web at dpllp.cpa.
Jason Evans at LSU. Number 2, LSU. 4. Number 7, Texas 1. In the
Welcome
bottom
back.
of the fifth.
Get an update on the Texas LSU score. Meanwhile, score in this one, 8-1 in favor of St. Pius X as we go to the top of the 5th inning. It'll be top of the lineup once again, Houston, Wisnowski, and Ambrose. Houston officially 0 for 2. Struck out, run it out to the second baseman. Back in the third. Wisnowski walked in the first and got to first on an error by the shortstop Peavy. Ambrose got on first after an error was sent over to the right fielder, who dropped the ball, and then it struck out looking back in the third.
New batter for St. Thomas. Number 9, Hudson Van.
Pinch hitter in now. It's Hudson Van coming in. He'll bat in place of Garen Houston. First pitch is strike. 0-1 to Van, the new hitter. Oh, and 1 the count here. Might see a bit more of that as this game progresses, as we see more guys who aren't often in the lineup start to come up to bat. 1-1 the count now as the next pitch from Jaden Lee misses. Still in the game, his 5th inning of work. Definitely had some long innings himself, but he's been able to mitigate the damage for the most part. 1-1 here to Hudson Van. 2-1 now. Low, 3-1. Jaden Lee's only given up 1 hit.
Now batting number 22, Evan Wisnowski.
That's a strikeout there. Or, excuse me, that's a walk after Van was able to work that one. So he's on first. Now timeout at the plate as they go and talk to Jaden Lee, who's definitely had to labor a little bit. See how much longer of a leash they give him here tonight. With an 8-1 cushion, definitely want to ride him for as long as they can. Preserve some of the other arms in their bullpen, but if it's potentially at risk of giving the game away, we'll see what happens. Looks like that'll be it for Jaden Lee. We'll get a standing go as he comes off.
Panthers, number 23, Tristan Smystrela.
Smystrela, the new pitcher in for St. Pius X. We'll give him a break and take a quick break ourselves here on the Legacy Sports Network. Be right back.
We've got the power to make things right. Mr. Electric, show you the light.
Looking for electrical help you can count on? Switch to Mr. Electric. We have some of the best trained electricians in the business, and they're ready to help you with any project, big or small. Best of all, with Mr. Electric, our work is 100% guaranteed. That's why so many people trust Mr. Electric.
We've got the power to make things better. Mr. Electric.
Tristan Smystrela, the new pitcher in for St. Pius X. That'll spell the end of the game here for Jaden Lee, who will move into the infield now. Trying to see exactly where it is he's going to be stationed. I'd imagine third base. It's normally where he plays. Smystrela warming up. It does look like Lee will be over at third base. Don't think that there's going to be a pinch hitter here for Wisnowski. Trying to get a good look here. Smystrela will warm up here. Hey, by the way, the Legacy Sports Network, LSNSports.com, broadcasting high school athletics for 17 years in the greater Houston area, is building a legacy one game at a time. Please follow us on our social media pages. Like us on Facebook by looking up LSN Sports. Follow us on X, formerly Twitter, at Legacy Sportsnet, and on Instagram at Legacy Sports Network. Sorry, the PA announcer announced Wisnowski still in the game. Batting for himself in the second spot. He'll be the first batter that the new pitcher, Tristan Smystrela, will face, coming in relief of Jaden Lee, who walked one to start the fifth, so officially only has 4 innings of work. Responsible for the runner at first in Hudson Van. First pitch is a swinging miss, 0-1. Next pitch from Smystrela. That one inside 0-2, so 2 straight strikes from Smystrela here against Evan Wisnowski. Eight to 1 our score here again. 4-spot put up by St. Pius, 10th in the first. It's been all downhill from there as that one's fouled way back onto the roof of the bathroom. That is not anyone's car, that is the PA. thankfully. Though I won't know for sure until I get to go check my car out in the parking lot. Hopefully it's okay. 0-2 the count. Runner on first is Van. 8-1 game in favor of St. Pius X. Pitch foul, half-hearted swing there from Wisnowski, stays alive, 0-2. Still nobody out here. Lee walked the first hitter and then was pulled in favor of Smystrela. Ball hit high in the air. Ranging over will be the center fielder and right fielder, and it'll be the center fielder making the catch. Cotton coming over in front of Broussard to make the play, 1 out. So now Ambrose will come up now 0 for 2 on the day. Struck out looking his last time up in the third.
Jackson Ambrose.
First pitch in there, 0-1. Van is still lingering over at first. Doesn't look to have really any inclination to steal. Decent lead over there, but nothing crazy. Carson Evans keeping an eye on him. No look over from Smystrela. The ball grounded over to the third baseman. Won't make the play at second. They'll go to first for the out. Nice play over there at third as you heard the Sports Center sound. Magallanes making that one.
Now batting number 21.
2 outs here. Runner advances to second. Nifty play over there by the third baseman, Magallanes. Now Kimball up to bat. No longer the pitcher. Now the center fielder. Hudson Van on second. Ball fouled back. Ricochets against the bar. 0-1. Oh, 0-1 in there for a strike, strike 2. Kimball only went 3 innings in his appearance today. Gave way to Patrick Daly, who allowed 3 more to come across. Kimball allowed 5. Excuse me, swing goes foul. Everybody moved over. Oh, and 2 the count now to Kimball. Kimball has struck out and lined after the center fielder Cotton.
Pretty good job. I did so good.
Time called here. Smystrela will hop off the bump. Arcia won't go over to him. He'll stay where he is, again with an 8-1 lead. Can't imagine there's much to talk about outside of the signs. Sure they're okay. And they seem to be ready to go as the second baseman, Marquez, ranges over to shortstop. Won't check on him, fouled back. 0-2, it'll remain against Kimball. He was one of 2 who has not reached even on an error. Kimball been consistently batting cleanup here for this team since returning from the basketball team. Definitely an important bat in this lineup. 0-2 here again with 2 outs here already, and that one's lined sharply, but right towards the second baseman, Marquez, and that's just kind of how it's gone today here for the Eagles. No runs across. go back to the bottom of the inning when we come back.
DeRoche Partners LLP, located in Houston and Dallas, offers a complete range of tax assurance and consulting services to a diverse portfolio of clients. Their team is dedicated to the highest ethics of our profession with a commitment to excellence. This is accomplished by putting an emphasis on providing superior professional services specifically tailored to meet the needs of our clients. DeRoche Partners aim to provide valuable insight, effective solutions, and maintain long-lasting business relationships. Their high recruiting standards and culture of excellence is uncommon and unrivaled. They want to wish all the student athletes good luck. Visit DeRoche Partners on the web at dpllp.cpa.
Family. The Autry, D'Agostino, and Turner family.
Welcome back here to the Legacy Sports Network. Trying to get an eye on if there's a new pitcher in the game here. Looks like it'll still remain as Patrick Daly's game. He's back out for his second inning of work here. Didn't go particularly well for him. That first one allowed 3 runs. 7 innings.
Oaks Realty.
Allowed the first 3 to reach. Single walk, single sac fly, double strikeout, then a pop out to Borja at second.
The Myers family, the voice of
That's how we get to the score we are at now, 8-1 in favor of the home St. Pius X Panthers, who have really been the benefit of a few bad infield plays, but have made a point of capitalizing on them. This was something we kind of saw from the Eagles in that last game. They allowed 3 stolen bases in the 7th inning alone to allow them to tie that game up before they walked it off in the bottom half of that frame. Daly's first pitch is slapped hard the other way, but hangs up long enough for the right fielder Baskin to make the play, 1 out. Devin Mayahi retired
now
here.
batting, number 10, Carson Evans.
Carson Evans up now. Mayahi hasn't reached at all today, one of the few who hasn't for St. Pius X.
Quick announcement. If you drive a Chevy truck or SUV with a license plate.
Quick break in the announcement here for a car.
GSF 1856. We need you to move your car so a lacrosse bus can get out. Thank you.
Someone has their Chevy parked in the way of the bus. Hopefully that is attended to here so these young men can get home when the game's over. 1 out here. First pitch from Daly to the new batter. Carson Evans is outside 1-0. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Daly pitching quick here. His second pitch is outside 2-0. Carson Evans has played a pretty solid first base. Not a lot of mistakes over there. Ball fouled back, hits the bar right above where we have the field mic position. You can hear that one for sure reverberating. 2-1. It's the second time we've had a ball hit the pole. We had one hit the opposite pole behind home plate. I want to say an inning or 2 ago, but that one right next to our field mic. Very interesting sound, I'm sure. That ball's hit foul over the floodlights and heading onto the stadium over there. Hope there was no one sitting there. So there was a loud ricochet. I didn't hear any screams of pain, so hopefully we're okay. 2-2. 1 out here for Patrick Daly against Carson Evans, the first baseman. That one's on the outside corner called. Strike 3 for Daly, looking a lot sharper here in this second inning of work.
Number 8, Jaden
2
Lee.
up, 2 down. So Jaden Lee comes up, still hitting for himself, no longer the pitcher. Zach bunted, runners over in the second, and then hit a single and came around to score in the 4th. First swing out in front, hit foul, 0-1. Again, 8-1 our score here. In the mix of bad defense from the Eagles, in case you missed it. Had 4 errors committed from St. Thomas, all on the infield that have allowed runs to score. Big swing and a miss from Lee, 0-2. 2 errors from Beck, the first baseman, 1 from Landclose and 1 from Wisnowski. Really not helping out. Caleb Kimball, who got the start in this game, was already having some trouble with command. was allowing runners on and weren't being retired. That's how we reached the score we're at now. Ball fouled. Lee got just a piece of it to stay alive. Still 0-2 here. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Daly's second inning of work. 0-2 again. Fouled again. Lee fighting up there. Hasn't checked out of this game by any means. Another 0-2 count here against Lee. This one hit over to the first baseman Garcia, who will put Lee away. So a 1-2-3 for Daly. Encouraging outing for him. We'll be back on the Legacy Sports Network.
To be a mentor, you don't have to have some special talent. That's why we're having some real-life mentors sing for us. Hit it, guys.
Row, row, row your boat, gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
Thanks, that was awful. So remember, to mentor a child, you don't have to be perfect.
Row, row, row your...
Please stop. You just have to call Save the Children toll-free at 1-877-BA-MENTOR.
A message brought to you by Save the Children and the Ad Council.
Wagon wheel Darius Rucker playing. It's been a big wagon of a game for St. Pius X. 8 runs in this game. Only 1 given up to St. Thomas, currently trailing. As we head to the top of the 6th inning. After a 1-2-3 from Patrick Daly. We've already seen some subs put in already here for St. Thomas. We'll see how many more are put in as the game progresses and the score potentially stays the same.
All right, Panther fans, let's get loud, because now coming into the game.
New pitcher here coming in now for
number 6,
the Panthers. It's Drew Davis, who last pitched in relief in that game on Tuesday. Davis part of that relief effort in that loss. Coming in, take out the starter, Devin Mayahi, who was the DH today. Davis officially went 2/3. Got a double play on 1 batter. Allowed 0 hits, no runs, no walks, struck out none. So literally just got his double play and then checked out for the game. Now in relief here with St. Pius well ahead. Officially, it'll be Riles, Landclose, and Issa Garcia, the new first baseman, coming up to bat. Garcia hitting in place of Henry Beck. St. Thomas came into this game 2-1 in district, split their games against Concordia Lutheran 1-1 and won the first game against St. Pius X. Now staring at a 2-2 record in district if they can't somehow find a way to come back in this one. On the other side, St. Pius X came in 1-1. Beat St. John 23 in their first district game. Lost last Tuesday, as I mentioned, to St. Thomas.
Now batting number 32, Jackson Riles.
Jackson Riles still in the game as DH. Walked in the second, flew out to the right fielder in the 4th. 8-1 our score here in the top of the 6th. First pitch from Davis is fouled back by Riles, 0-1. Riles, longtime DH this season for the team. Junior, excuse me. Ball hit hard, but to the shortstop. Peavy will make the throw over. Easy play. 1 retired here and for the new pitcher, Davis. Game's been moving quickly now. After a long few first innings, now guys are going up, down.
Cecilia Williams.
Jackson Landclose still in the game here at shortstop. Or rather, it is still Landclose.
Sorry, didn't have my glasses on. It's number 16, Jackson Landclose.
There we go. First pitch sails over Landclose's head, 1-0. Cut on and miss, 1-1. Four straight retired here from the pitching staff for the Panthers. Looking to make it 5. Ball hit hard off the mound, goes right to the shortstop, Peavy. And that one gets away that time from the first baseman, Evans. So Landclose will get on here. That was kind of a wacky play. Ball looked like it was going towards center field, right back where it came from, but it ricocheted off the mound, went to the shortstop, Peavy, who made the play, but ball was thrown a little short of first, and it was a bit of a tough play for Evans to make, but potentially makeable. We'll see how they score it. As of right now, it seems they're going to go the way of an error. So still only one hit on the day for St. Thomas as Landclose is at first. Issa Garcia batting here in place of Henry Beck. Got a majority of the starts to start the season. Now we've seen Beck in a few more times. But I see maybe they're trying to get Issa Garcia's swing back. He's up 1-0 in the count. Now 2-0. Here to Garcia, big bat. That one a little bit outside, just missed the outside corner, 3-0. Riles grounded out to the shortstop, Peavy to start. Peavy looked to get a second put out before the error was committed. Runner going, and that one hits Garcia, so he'll be on second anyway. Garcia on with the hit by pitch. Landclose will move to second, so 2 on here for Jake Baskin. Still down 8-1 here in the top of the 6th. Drew Davis, the new pitcher.
Now batting number 24, Jake Baskin.
Davis did get a double play his last appearance back on Tuesday, so he is capable of getting those kind of balls to go his way. We'll see if he potentially aims for a ground ball here and spots his pitches low. That won't happen. First pitch line. That's a base hit. Score 1. So a base hit, RBI here for Jake Baskin. The first pitch he sees makes it 2-8 now. Runner at second and first as Garcia didn't take the turn at second, so he'll stay there. Still in scoring position here as Anthony Borja will come up to bat. Unearned run officially as Landclose got on with the E3. Davis's first run allowed, unearned run. First pitch here against Borja is in for a strike, 0-1. Hudson Van was batting in place of the starter, Garen House, at the top of the lineup, so he would be up next, potentially. Oh, and 1 here to Borja. He hits that one to the shortstop, who has trouble fielding it, still able to get it. And they're going to say he got it over to first in time, so a double play for Davis. Second one in as many appearances. I'll retire the side here. One does come across here, though, for St. Thomas. 2-8 now. St. Pius when we come back.
Legacy Sports Network, now celebrating 17 years of broadcasting excellence. We are your home for local high school sports coverage. Expect excellent audio and video production. Whether you're listening at home or at the game, find us at lsnsports.com. Legacy Sports Network, building a legacy one game at a time.
And welcome back here. Looks like we have a new pitcher in again. It's going to be Hunter Sage in now for St. Thomas. Third pitcher here used for St. Thomas. Sage has a few starts under his belt this season, now coming in relief for the Eagles, who are currently down 2-8 against the St. Pius X Panthers. Bottom of the sixth here might be the last inning pitch here for the Eagles, unless they can spark a crazy comeback at the top of the seventh.
Number 35.
Ambrose still in the game catching, so he's been here for all these pitchers. Got a little something going in that last half inning for the Eagles. Langclose came around to score after an RBI hit from Jake Baskin. There was runners at first and second with one out, but then Anthony Borhog ground into a double play to strand both of those runners. Been a bit of a common theme here. We've seen multiple double plays hit into by this team today. Some of it unforced. We've seen some guys thrown out on the base paths, not really helping their case to try and come back in this game. That's just kind of how the cookie has crumbled here so far tonight here for St. Thomas. Came into this game having won their game on Tuesday against the Panthers.
All right, Panther fans, put your hands together for number 22, Jackson Cotton.
Jackson Cotton still on the game. He has reached all three times, 1 for 1 on the day. Hit a single on the first pitch he saw in the first, then walked in the second and again in the fourth. He'll be the first batter faced by Hunter Sage. Sage's first pitch. That one's a bit too far inside 1-0 against Cotton, who's also made some really good plays out in center field. Kind of got in the way of his right fielder Broussard out there to make a nice play over in the fifth. Second pitch outside 2-0 to Cotton. Again, this top third for the Panthers has been so lethal. 4 for 9 in that game on Tuesday, adding to their totals here. 2-0 here from Sage, fouled back. That one hit a third pole. We are really playing whack-a-mole here with them. We have hit 3 different poles here on foul balls. Making some music here as this game comes down to a close. Officially 3 for 5 are the top hitters in the order. Four for 6 rather, excuse me. 2-1 here to Cotton. That one's in there, counting even at 2-2. Crowd has remained pretty engaged. A lot of friends, family out here for St. Thomas, chatting it up. 3-2 now. Ball misses outside. Count full here against Cotton. Been cheering on their Eagles, even despite the score. 8-2. St. Pius X leads. A rough game. One they'll be probably willing to put behind them once the final hits. 3-2 here to Cotton. Got him looking. Strike 3 called. First time Cotton has had to grab some
number
bench.
2, Sean Marquez.
Sean Marquez in. 2 singles on the day. Has scored on both of them. out here, bottom of the 6th. First pitch line sharply. We call that one a base hit, dribbling down the line, and Marquez will get all the way to second on the extra base hit.
Baby.
So Marquez officially now 3 for 4, 2 singles and a double.
Now batting number 1, Michael Peavy.
Still the top third. They aren't coming out of this game. Michael Peavy back in here. He's 1 for 2 with a single and a sac fly. There's 2 RBIs on the game already, looking to add a third here with Marquez over at second in an 8-2 game here in the bottom of the 6th. The 0-0 high, 1-0. A new pitcher in right now is Hunter Sage, looking to close this one out here. Keep it somewhat within striking distance. It would be Van Wisnowski and Ambrose to bat if they weren't pitch hit for in the top of the 7th. Down 6 currently. 1-0. 2-0. Sage got caught in strikeout looking. Marquez hit a double. And now Peavy up to bat here. Runner in scoring position. The 2-0. That one's high, 3-0. Jorge Arcia on deck. In the catcher spot. Batting cleanup. It's been a really good day for these hitters. They've definitely been assisted by some errors, but they have been pushing the pace, pushing the tempo on offense, getting pretty much whatever they want to the tune of 8 runs here tonight on a Friday. 3-0, that one's high. 4-pitch walk to Peavy. Runners at first and second now for Jorge Arcia.
Ahora bateando número 11, Jorge Arcia.
Doubled his last time up. Meeting at the mound here. Coach McCurry going to have to talk to his guys. Give some Sage advice to Hunter Sage. Today's game is brought to you by Texan Chrysler, Jeep Dodge, Ram, GMC, Buick. We hear you.
We've got to keep our composure. We've got too far. There's too much to lose. Keep our composure.
Will Farrell up there.
That's right. We can't right.
Arcia digging in as the catcher returns to behind the plate. One out here, bottom of the 6th. First pitch low from Hunter Sage after the meeting at the mound. Now they'll take another one here as the catcher Ambrose will have to talk to him once again. Might have been a mix-up on the signs after the prior meeting. Already over. Probably just making sure they're on the same page once again. 1-0 here against Jorge Arcia. Runners on second and first, excuse me. Marquez at second, Peavy at first after the walk. 8-2 our score here. St. Pius the 10th well ahead here. Looking to add on a little more. 1-0. That one gets the inside part of the plate. 1-1.
Go 1.
Double play is still a possibility here. 1-1 against Arcia, not the fastest, and that's a ground ball over to the shortstop. It gets away from him, though. One run will come around to score now 9-2.
Yeah, baby. Now batting number 21, Adrian Magallanes.
Charge that one at E6.
Courtesy runner, number
Marquez will come
24,
around to
Jackson
score.
Roberts.
Score now 9-2. As Magallanes steps into the box. Runners both a decent lead, huge lead over at first, although Garcia isn't paying much close attention over there at first. First pitch in there for a strike against Magallanes. Home run would enforce the run rule here, although I'm sure Magallanes isn't quite thinking that far ahead yet. 0-1 the count here with one out here, bottom of the sixth. Runner on first and second. That one inside, 1-1. Eight hits on the night. Here for St. Pius, 10th compared to the only one for St. Thomas. 5 errors, meanwhile, for the Eagles, really coming to haunt them here in this game. It's been a really rough showing defensively. Plays that you normally see them make. Even for instance, that last play, a ground ball tailored over to Landclose, who makes that play about 9 out of 10 times. He's not able to get a glove on it. Ball low, 2-1. It has gotten a little colder out here. You wonder if that has something to do with it, but not really often you see that being a factor here, especially with the weather getting warmer. 2-1 here to Magallanes. Runners at first and second. 9-2 our score. Ball low. Hunter Sage trying to get out of this inning, having only allowed the one run. 3-1 here against Magallanes. 2 innings of Patrick Daly, 3 from Kimball, and now 1 from Sage. That one popped up, foul, it'll drop. Count will go full, 3-2. Everybody here has reached here on error, hit, walk, or otherwise, except for Mayahi, the DH for St. Pius, the 10th. There's been a lot of running, a lot of hits, and a lot of forcing the action from the Panthers. Full count pitch here from Sage, runners going. Ball hit the other way, right to Garcia, who will step on the bag for the double play. That'll certainly help matters. Still down 7 as we head to the top of the 7th. Potentially one more chance for St. Thomas to come back into this one. Be right back on the Legacy Sports Network.
Eagles put up 1.
At McCree Ford, we know you have a lot of choice.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic sports in Texas. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Attention high school sports fans, are you an armchair official? You know, the parent or fan who constantly yells at the referees and loves to let everyone know just how bad you think they are. Well, if you think you could do better, then get in the game and prove it. It's time for you to suit up and make the calls where they actually count. Every sport in Texas needs more officials. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Top of the 7th here, St. Thomas Eagles down 9-2 here. Looking for a final gasp here to try and get back into this game. Take a bit of a miracle, but we'll see what they have. Drew Davis back out for another inning of work here for the Panthers. Well ahead here He'll get the top third. Van, Wisnowski, and Ambrose. We'll see if they're all pinch hit for potentially. Van up there right now. He'll bat for himself. He pinch hit for Garrett Houston back in the fifth. Worked a walk, got himself the second.
Now batting number 9.
Was left there after 3 consecutive outs. One run apiece each in the 6th inning for both teams. First pitch in from Davis, strike. Landclose got on after an error from the first baseman. Would come around and score from a base hit from Jake Baskin. 0-1, now 0-2. You can hear enthusiastic cheers after every strike called from the St. Pius X Panther dugout. They're going to just get this one out the way and get out of here with the dub. That third pitch outside, 1-2. Davis here against Hudson Van, top of the 7th. Panthers up 9-2 over the Eagles. Time called at the plate by Van. Bit of an extended standoff there.
Let's go, Hudson!
1-2 here coming from Drew Davis. His pitch. Hit the other way, ranging over both players. Pitcher having to cover, and they'll say he got there. Great play over there from Drew Davis. Both the first and second baseman, Evans and Marquez, both kind of ran in on each other, so Davis had to hustle over and make the play, and credit to him, PFP is working on it. Made the play, 1 out. Now Wisnowski up to bat. Two more outs here for St. Pius X to officially close the book on this one. First pitch, first strike, 0-1. Wisnowski has walked, reached on an error. Also flown out to the center fielder, Cotton. Next pitch misses low, 1-1. Perhaps the most baffling thing here tonight, still only 1 hit officially here for St. Thomas. They've reached a ton of times. They have had plenty of runners, a lot of walks here issued out by Jaden Lee and the rest of the staff from the Panthers, but they haven't been able to capitalize on any of them. Swing and a miss from Wisnowski. 1-2 now. But for whatever reason, they've just been unable to bring more across. Base running errors aplenty. Bad swing decisions here and there, but they've had opportunities to put more than 2 runs on the board. They just haven't been able to do it. Fouled away, still 1-2 from Wisnowski. Base running has been kind of a thing that they've had to work on. Heard in the interview before the game that Coach Mazziotti does like to work on with his guys on that. They have a ton of athleticism out there, and they can definitely make things happen, but sometimes that works to their detriment, as we've seen here today. 1-2, fouled back again over the roof of the bathroom. 1-2. Just something that we're going to have to emphasize going forward in district play. These games only get more and more important. Again, Eagles' next game will be against St. John 23, Strikeout Cancer Classic. Back home on Tuesday. Swing and a miss. Drew Davis gets Wisnowski swinging. Second out here, 1 more out left to work with for the Eagles. Jackson Ambrose will look to keep the dream alive. Down 7 here, 9-2.
All right, Panther fans, put them together. Number 23, Jackson Ambrose batting.
Last chance here. Nobody on here for Ambrose. 2 outs here, top of the 7th. First pitch, a strike to Ambrose. It's 0 for 3. Davis taking his time up there. 0-1, a little too low, 1-1. Words of encouragement coming from the St. Thomas Eagles dugout. They want them to remain engaged. Treat this like a 0-0 game, like Coach Mazziotti preaches so much here. Breaker inside part of the plate, called a ball, 2-1. Davis is 2-1. Swing and a miss from Ambrose, and now one more strike to go for St. Pius X, and one more strike to live on for the St. Thomas Eagles. Currently down 9-2 here in the top of the 7th. Looking for one last gasp from their third hitter. Drew Davis looking to close it out. The 2-2. Fouled back. Remain 2-2. Fighting up there. They have not really grounded out quickly. They fought a little bit up there. Been some fantastic defensive plays. I've mentioned the plays Cotton has made in center field for the Panthers. Defense might be the name of the game right now. The difference here between these two teams. 5 errors committed. 2-2 here from Davis. That one a little low. Thought they might have gotten him looking, but it'll be called a ball. 3-2 now. Ambrose not going quiet. (3-2) full count here to Ambrose. Full count pitch. Got him looking, and that'll end the ball game. Drew Davis strikes out Ambrose, looking to put our final at 9-2. St. Thomas comes into the pit and ends up losing.
St. Pius X.
They will officially go 1-for-1 against St. Pius X here so far in this season. Still plenty of opportunities for these two teams to meet later in the year. We'll see, but St. Pius X gets the better of St. Thomas tonight. They beat them 9-2 here at home. Take one more break, come back, recap this, and break it down on the Legacy Sports Network.
DeRoche Partners LLP, located in Houston and Dallas, offers a complete range of tax assurance and consulting services to a diverse portfolio of clients. Their team is dedicated to the highest ethics of our profession with a commitment to excellence. This is accomplished by putting an emphasis on providing superior professional services specifically tailored to meet the needs of our clients. DeRoche Partners aim to provide valuable insight, effective solutions, and maintain long-lasting business relationships. Their high recruiting standards and culture of excellence is uncommon and unrivaled. They want to wish all the student athletes good luck. Visit DeRoche Partners on the web at dpllp.cpa.
Legacy Sports Network, now celebrating 17 years of broadcasting excellence. We are your home for local high school sports coverage. Expect excellent audio and video production. Whether you're listening at home or at the game, find us at lsnsports.com. Legacy Sports Network, building a legacy one game at a time.
We are the NFHS. That stands for the National Federation of State High School Associations. But really, what we stand for, together with the UIL, are the 825,000 high school sports and performing arts students in Texas. And so we stand. We stand for the runners, debate team members, and basketball players. We stand for their coaches, officials, and adjudicators. We stand for the drummers, football players, and actors. We stand for the golfers, singers, and swimmers. We stand as the national leader and advocate for these essential activities and all who participate in them and make them possible. Because it is our purpose to ensure that high school students get to play, perform, and compete together. To learn more about who we are and what we stand for, visit nfhs.org.
Final score here at the pit. Your St. Thomas Eagles lose the game 9-2 after a sloppy first few innings, including 5 errors on the day. They dropped this second game here against St. Pius X after winning the first one on Tuesday to split the season series 1-1. Losing pitcher on the night will be Caleb Kimball. Gave up 5 runs, not all of them earned. Winning pitcher will be Jaden Lee. For the St. Pius X Panthers, Eagles go to 2-2 in district. St. Pius X 2-1 for a 9-2 final here tonight at the pit. Again, it was a bit of a tough start for the Eagles. Allowed 4 runs in that first inning. Gave up another one in the third and then 3 more in the fourth, and it kind of snowballed from there. Poor defense all around. 5 errors committed total on the night for the Eagles as they lose this one by a wide margin. Their next game will be coming up against St. John 23rd. That'll be on Tuesday, the Strikeout Cancer Classic. St. Pius X will go and play Houston Christian next. Keep this winning streak going after losing on Tuesday and now winning here on Friday here at home against the St. Thomas Eagles. Hey, that'll do it for us here on the Legacy Sports Network. I am Andrew Carter. Glad you could join me here tonight on a Friday. Again, St. Thomas Eagles lose this one by a score of 9-2. They'll come home on Tuesday to try and get one back. Another win in the win column against St. John 23rd. The Strikeout Cancer Classic. Be there. It'll be a fantastic experience, a great atmosphere. Support your home Eagles. And remember, Eagle Fight never dies. We'll see you then on the Legacy Sports Network. Thanks for watching.
You've been listening to Greater Houston Area High School Baseball on the Legacy Sports Network. Copyright 2025.